I don't.
Alright.
And he just recorded.
Hi, I'm Mr. Marr.
Hi, I'm Mr. Orholm.
Miss Thompson.
It's Ben I.
Mr. Rowland.
Okay. So my question is Gregor's bug-like state a metaphor for how all working class people become after years of working? And the passage I want to refer to is on page 23, and it's when Gregor is saying, "All this early rising, it's enough to make one soft in the head. Human beings need their sleep." So what do you guys think?
Let's kick it off.
Yep. You
Oh.
need the first page.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, okay. Anyone else want to kick it off? I got things. There you go.
You guys can disagree with me.
Well, what I remember talking about in the first session is that the important part of that quote comes right after where you stop, where it says, "Other traveling salesmen live like harem girls," where when I go back to the boarding house, for example, to copy out the morning's commissions, why these gentlemen may still be sitting at breakfast. I'd like to see my boss's face if I tried to that sometime. It can be on the spot. So I think it's more about him being, compared to the other guys that work, they seem to, the other guys seem to live much easier and more relaxed, large life, and then he is always confined, and he kind of reminds me of a hamster that's just like rolling the thing, too. So it's always implied that he's lower than human life form. So that's maybe in your face metaphor about that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And I definitely think that his work life is what causes him to become, or causes, because we talked about maybe it being a psychological thing that causes him to perceive himself as a bug or become a bug. I think that just the stress of his workday, providing for a family that doesn't work, just all that probably did take a toll on him.
Right. I remember us, yeah, okay. So I remember us talking about how it might have been a psychological thing. And actually, in the quote that you read, he talked about how all the work makes him soft in the head. And then on the first page, he talks about how he, when he first wakes up, he had been having like troubled dreams. So I guess there's textual evidence there to say, okay, maybe he was having some psychological problems, either before he turned into a bug or that are causing him to think that he turned into a bug.
Yeah, I was going off of that. It's reduced him to the state where he feels he's like subhuman, which I could kind of agree with, like how the workforce feels. You're kind of like a cog in the machine rather than an individual. And him being as a bug is probably it's one of the, like the lowest like forms of life, like especially like size wise or just like intelligence wise. And once you've been like on the road, just working your way, you could regress, like you said, soft head mentally and physically into a state where you perceive yourself to be like a bug, like psychologically. So.
And depending on the business, lots of businesses just consider you just not even really a person, just somebody who can produce money for them. So, and it clearly seems like that's the way that his job was. So just that whole idea that his job just considered him somebody to produce money, not even really caring about him. So.
Yeah, because like the first day he misses work, and like it was like a long period of time, the boss comes to his house and it says essentially like, "You've been slacking, you're fired." He's missed one day. He's missed the train. It wasn't even like he missed the whole day. He missed like the train to go. The supervisor, for further emphasizing the point that like he's replaceable. He's like a cog. He's not like a person. So.
Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that he's actually, Gregor in particular, is held to standards above and beyond what the other guys are held to. He has to be there. He's kind of expected to be there right when the clerk opens up, which is at 5, and the place doesn't actually open until 7. So he's expected to get there early. So it does seem like he's definitely singled out, especially the quote that you brought up about how all the other salesmen look like harem girls, but he is held to like special expectations, it seems like.
You know, it's not even that. I mean, I remember reading from the story. I can't pinpoint the page right now, but it's not even. It's like he did it to himself, kind of, because he started showing up early to do more work, and then once he did that, the employers just started expecting that from him. So the other guys started off doing less, so they never expected anything more than what they did. But once you start from like 150%, when you go to like 90%, they're like, "Oh, dude, what's happening?" So maybe that's something he brought upon himself too.
Yeah, but then at the same time though, like so he put in all that extra work, but then he's that replaceable too at the same time.
Yeah.
So like you
Yeah.
said, he's an essential member of their workforce, but when he slacks off, they can just get rid of him.
That's-
Sorry, you go ahead. You
Uh,
go
but
first.
then
a
he
little.
shall-
Yeah, that's cute. Well, that's what I was gonna say earlier about it kind of resembles what happens in real life, where like they make you do lots of stuff, go above and beyond, but then when you fail to do something, then you're done. You know, they just replace your cubicle
Find
and all
someone
that.
else.
And this is just like they like take it to the Kafka takes it to the extreme in this example to better demonstrate it. Is what it seems to me like. Please.
The point I was just going to make is that I think even by the end of the story, it's still unresolved, like what exactly the relationship between the family and this business is. Whether it's like Bartleby in particular is like bearing the brunt of some agreement between the parents and the business. Some people had speculated that there was like a shady business deal going on or something like that, but you never know. So
We're good.
Speculation.
We're good. It's 7 minutes.
Right.
Hooray!